This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and today we're going to look at the Lenovo Thinkpad X240. This is Lenovo's 12.5-inch ultra portable with incredible battery life and a lot of ports, and we're going to look at it now. Here it is. I know several of you have been waiting for this, the Lenovo Thinkpad X240. This is the upgrade for the X230, the old model, and it's a lot thinner. First off, the X230 was a pretty cool machine. It started to look really thick after a while, though. This guy is still no skinny machine, but definitely improved in terms of thickness. Also very light. With the 3-cell battery inside, built-in battery, by the way, and a second battery, we'll talk about that, which is in place here, weighs just around 3.1 pounds or so. So similar to other Ultrabooks, good long battery life there. Some more power options. Since it's a Lenovo, what do you get? You get a whole lot of ports over here. This is pretty amazing for a 12.5-inch Ultrabook. Mini display port, we have our USB 3.0 port, a VGA port. Okay, this is where I know you guys who buy consumer laptops are going, hey, VGA. Guess what? Business users need VGA. It's a good thing to have here. We do have mini display port for those of you who need higher resolution displays. Obviously, cooling vents here. The new rectangular style connector Lenovo has been using for a while. On this side, another USB 3.0 port. One of these supports charging, by the way. There's your combo headphone jack. Your SD card slot, guess what? The SD card goes in all the way. It does not stick out halfway the way it does on a lot of Ultrabooks today. SIM card slot for 3G, 4G, for those of you who want that feature. And built-in Ethernet. No little dongles to fiddle with, no USB Ethernet. Nope, it's just got Ethernet built in. Not bad for a machine that's 3 pounds, small footprint. That's Lenovo for you. On the outside, it's their new finish, which is the old matte soft touch, really grippy stuff is gone. I still kind of miss it, but this is their matte kind of metallic looking finish. It's Lenovo, so you get the magnesium roll cage inside, all sorts of durability. No problem, it's a Lenovo. You can do that with this. So for those of you who are hard on your notebooks, who travel a whole lot, many days of the year, that's a valuable feature. Flip it over. Docking port over here. We can also use the one-link dock with this, obviously. Removable battery here. Like I said, they have their power bridge technology. This is pretty cool. Inside, sealed inside, although if you take off the screws on the bottom, standard Phillips head, you can get to it. There's a 3-cell battery. This is a removable 3-cell battery. It's going to use the battery that you have that's removable first, so that's good. So you can deplete this, swap in another one, and you still have your charger mating in the internal battery. That means you can take this battery out without having the laptop power down, assuming you haven't depleted your internal battery, which you probably haven't given that scheme. 2 release latches. Lenovo wants you to make friends when you're on the go here, because as you're doing this, you've run out of hands already to try to push that battery out, but I'm going to try to shake it and get it to come out. It's not gonna. It's in there pretty firmly, so not an easy thing to do. You'll need somebody else to grip that battery for you. All right, my camera person very kindly helped me with that. So here's the 3-cell removable battery. Pretty thin, pretty light. Together, these are good for around 7 hours, maybe even 7.5 hours of use time with average power management settings. Your brightness set to about 50%. What if that's not good enough for you? Well, here's the big chunky optional battery. This is a 6-cell battery. This one is heavier. This weighs over 11 ounces by itself. Obviously, it's a lot bigger and it's a lot thicker. It's going to stick out when you put it in a bit, but they've turned it into a kind of stand. So it's going to prop the laptop up. Kind of looks like a drag car, doesn't it? They're pretty jacked up in the rear. Not a bad angle for typing. That battery plus the built-in battery, the one that's not removable, together you'll get up to 20 hours of use time. It's insane. That's actually use time. I don't mean that you put it to sleep for a while overnight, yada yada. No, so that's a couple of business days worth of actually using your laptop. Wow. Now, obviously, because this battery itself weighs about 11 ounces, you're bringing up the weight of this to over 3.5 pounds, but that's still, for an Ultrabook, not that bad. Call it about 3.6 pounds together. Inside, it looks like a ThinkPad. ThinkPad lovers will enjoy the look. The rest of you will say boring black box. That's up to you to decide. I like the ThinkPad look just fine. It's clean, it's modern, it's no frills. First off, touchscreen display over here. We have the 1366 by 768 model with 10 points of multi-touch. That came out first, IPS display. Now you can also get it with 1920 by 1080, which is pretty much all the rage now in Ultrabooks. That's going to add $330 to the price tag. Ow, kind of expensive there. There is no active digitizer Wacom option for this. Lenovo wants you to get the ThinkPad Yoga if you're into that, and we'll compare those in a minute. Price-wise, this starts at around $860. That's going to get you a pretty low-level configuration with a Core i3 and a spinning 500 gig hard drive. The good stuff, we're talking like Core i5-4200U or 4300U and an SSD drive if you want like 128 gigs, say, typical of Ultrabooks, and 8 gigs of RAM. That's going to run you around $1,200 to $1,400. Now you can go all the way up to that full HD display. You can get Core i7-45 or 4600U, that's 1.8 gigahertz or 2.1 gigahertz, standard Ultrabook, 15-watt CPUs all around here, by the way. Go up to 8 gigs of RAM on this, and you can be pushing $1,700. So it all depends on how you want to configure it. The middle-of-the-road Core i5 with 128 gig SSD, again, for around $1,200. For a business laptop, that's not too bad. Display goes all the way back, just like all Lenovo's ThinkPads do these days, for those of you who find a use for that. And let's show off the keyboard. As always, great keyboard. One of the advantages of this being thicker, say, than the X1 Carbon or even the ThinkPad Yoga is there's more room for key travel, and the keys are just so nice and damped. You don't hear them clacking at all. Silent. Nice feeling, so you're not going to have jarring fingertips. Lots of key travel here. One of my favorite keyboards on ultra portables, Dell and their XPS 13 and the XPS 12 also have excellent keyboards, and this one, really nice, one step up for those of you who tried the ThinkPad Yoga.